Greetings, I'm Les.
And I am Scandal.
And let's play
date a dragon together.
Yes!
I want to date dragons.
All right, so I want to date dragons too. We haven't seen any dragons in this game yet. I mean, not to invalidate their identity, but identities are performative, and we can invalidate it. And if they're fictional, there's nothing wrong with that. Hey, given fan fiction, fictional identities are invalidated all the time. They're
true.
actually trans, they're actually cis, they're actually swap. They actually don't exist at all, and I wrote them out of the story because their character's pointless and could be replaced by a lamp. Oh. All right, so
you mean how a lot of people like to treat female characters?
So the last episode was really weird as far as what they chose to do with the story, and we stopped Dylan from doing his show of dominance and or performativeness because of reasons.
Why
and
here we
go.
His language at all. I don't. Again, I'm having the biggest disconnect with like, why are we dissing on Dylan so much out of all
That's
three
what
of them?
it feels like, really hard. I'm also like, he took his gloves off. Okay, you should have specified that they were fighting gloves. Otherwise, he removed his gloves because he always wears his modesty gloves.
His glivy gloves.
I just love that he wears modesty gloves. Like, that is a big piece of his character. Of the very limited world building we're familiar with, that lines up with what he said.
I'm fine.
All right, Dylan, what was that all about in there? And are we about to have an angry crowd storm out the door at us?
Oh, God.
Because there was a lot
of money that people just lost. Like, you do not just drop that.
Were there like 5 or 6 other fights scheduled after yours? Because I kind of hope so. Why did you sign up for an MMA fight?
I also am like, it sounds so fanfiction-y to say that out loud. Why'd you sign up for an MMA fight? Insert big thing here.
Yes.
Like, it's like, what is the most weirdly abstract...
It's an ad-libs. Why did you sign up for insert your thing here?
I wanted to show you that I can be strong, too.
Not just an intellectual?
Wait, are we literally having a problem of you going, I felt like
Phoenix solved your problem, and I need to show you I was strong and could fight like Phoenix did, because clearly you liked that. Is that what this is?
I mean, that's fine. You can
also,
have
how
those
did he
kinds of...
organize this, though? Again, they're going, if that's his motivation, and that's what's going on, how the hell did he
fine,
organize
and I feel for you,
this
for sure.
in the human world?
Right?
Like, how did he find out what an MMA fight was, and then get scheduled into it, and also saying, I've been invited to it? Who invited you? Or did you make that up? Was that like an embellishment? But yes, I feel for him wanting to be performative for sure, but I'm like, this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I'm just as strong as Phoenix and Rai. Rai has never physically fought anyone, so I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
Also, we only
like, even us, we're like,
recently acknowledged that Rai is a dragon at all. And they go, he's never done any display of strength in any way.
All.
Like
other than lightning storm, which is to say thunder.
I made the entire city go black at noon.
Which would be
honestly
awesome.
Is a pretty big display of power, but not like physical power. So, you know?
I'm like, are they really?
What are you talking about?
Water is the weakest of all the elements. Excuse me,
don't
dude.
know.
You could drown people in 2 inches of water.
Like,
period.
Vampires be all edgy like, I could kill you if I wanted to. And you're like, dude, humans are so fragile, a dedicated duck could kill me. You are not special. 2 inches of water could kill me. You are not special. All right. What are you talking about?
I know that women want a strong man.
Have you learned this, or is this dragon culture? Is this dragon culture?
Whose culture are we talking about right now? Even in the wild, it's...
Oh, God, they're going to use alpha? Okay, first of all, the alpha and omega, like the alpha and beta does not exist. The guy who wrote it wrote another book going, my research was wrong, I've learned more, it doesn't work this way. 2, lions do not work that way. Lionesses essentially run the social hierarchy.
And you know what happens when the lionesses get tired of a Chad lion?
They kick him out.
They kick him out. They kill him sometimes. They throw his fucking
an alpha lion
straight out.
does not get lionesses. A lion that all the lionesses agree to let in gets the lionesses. And you know what? It's complicated anyways and shouldn't be compared to people. And if he's comparing himself and dragon culture to animals, I feel like there's some like cultural dissonance going here. Like even on the writer's part of going, I am disrespecting my people, this character of the dragons, and going, oh, they would totally compare themselves to animals. Either that, or they're comparing us humans to animals, the dragon slayers to animals.
Well, and it's also like, again, that's nothing necessarily to aspire to. So let's say possibly that you have the dynamic of there's the alpha and there's the beta and the omega thing. People still have choices they can make. You are completely throwing it out the window for a very deep and complex conversation where people talk about this crap.
The primary difference between animals and people is that we have a higher cognitive function. They have similar emotions and intelligence to us, but we have like more complex, like cognitive decision making and self-awareness.
Right.
As well as we have language, which is the primary barrier between animals and ourselves, of going, I am able to express my higher cognitive desires outside of my interior instincts or drives or thought processes by choosing what I want to do. So it doesn't matter what's going on with my body or with what might be considered like residual instincts. What matters is what I then choose to do with my cognitive power.
Right. Again, that thing about thinking the thought does not inherently make you a bad person. It is your actions and what you choose to do with
This
those
reminds me of
thoughts.
a comic that we've read recently that's Peanuts, where you have Charlie Brown's like his crush, the little redhead girl.
I think so, yeah.
Talking to, or is it his sister?
I don't actually
Anyway,
know.
okay,
It's
one of
somebody.
the girls who is nice to him and likes him.
Because I don't actually remember
in the
the
comic
old stuff,
strip.
yeah.
It's fine. She's talking to another boy and going, "Are you smarter than Charlie Brown?"
And he goes, I
"Yeah,
sure hope I am.
I sure hope I am." And she's
Right,
like,
I am, of course.
"Right." And she's like, "Are you older than Charlie Brown?"
Well, yes.
And then like something like, "Are you more popular than Charlie Brown?" Like it's 3 questions about his social value. And he
Right.
says yes to all of them. And then she says, "Then why don't I like you more than him?"
Uh-huh.
And the thing is in the end, it is not just prowess or display behaviors or function of what you're doing that makes a person like you. It is more complex than that. And with animals, it is more complex as well. There was a time when I was younger and I was watching nature documentaries, as one does.
Yeah.
And that they were talking about how, bull elk, fight to get the girls. And there was this one example that stuck in my head forever where they had this, younger male defeat the living crap out of an older male, right? Like he just laid him low. And then after the fight, he went, "I will get the female." And the female walked off with the injured older buck who she preferred.
Yes.
Like it is not all about the display. Anyway, here we go.
Genuine, and also not always about the power.
Let's see if she says anything about it. I'm so excited. What? Dylan, yes! I am not a lioness.
But however, that's not addressing the fact that he said the alpha thing.
It doesn't address
Yeah, I know.
most of it, but at least she's mentioning it instead of going, you can't win me or whatever. Like she's going, we're not animals and we are not in the savannah. She's not being complacent. There's so many of these games where your main character is very passive, very complacent, and a couple of episodes of some where your MC like literally does not interact. We had one episode of the Arcana where we were so confused because we were like, there's this complex conversation going on between 4 characters in the room.
And you know what
Except
Darren's
for we don't say anything.
Going, ha, ha, ha.
We just sit there with an emoji face like, ha, ha, I do nothing. Even though our contribution could have been really meaningful, like it was super passive. I like that Small is not completely passive. And we are not in the savannah. I don't need you to prove such things to me. You just have to be there for me, okay? Like, even if in some strange world I decided to date you or get married to you or went along with any of this other than friendship, all I need is an equal partnership where you're there for me when I need you.
How do I do that?
So that was a lot to do, but we could work on that. Yeah, it has to come now. Oh, she's going to be vague. People going, well, it just happens or it doesn't. No, there are formulas that make
There
things
really
work.
are.
There are behaviors
And also
that
there
make
are things
work.
that I would imagine even at her age she would be aware of. These are things that I like to do. I would like to get to know you, talking to you, spending time with you, or identifying maybe even like tropes in romantic movies that you like and going, why do I like them?
Sharing common interests. On the other hand, some people start with it has to come naturally, and then they sort of digress off. They go like, well, you just know. Like sometimes you ask someone, how did you learn that at work? And they go, well, you just know. And then they think about it a little bit more and they go, well, and they try and talk about it. So who knows?
Maybe I'll keep going.
You can't stress too much about it or overthink it. No. Wait a minute. Are you taking notes? Yes, because he's actually trying to learn something and you're being vague.
Yes, of course.
Again,
He seems like he's trying to be hyper competent and he's trying to be very skilled at very specific things. But I'm also like, are you really trying to tell me that he is actually the weakest of the 3 dragons?
Or that he's afraid of being the weakest?
Like, I'm having this weird thing of going, because we haven't really established who's powerful at all. Yeah, sure, Phoenix broke down part of a house and set things on fire.
Fireball the door.
And Rye has caused
he's gonna go down in
thunderstorm
history
in the middle of the day.
Right.
But that doesn't mean anything in terms of power at all. Do we have a system for deciding what this power system even looks like, or how you can grade it or scale it? Or...
Sometimes I hate it when people make like independent characters. Whether it's OCs or whether it's fan fiction or anything, because there's a lot of this idea of they're powerful. Okay, so like every shonen ever, they're powerful. And I go, okay, but
even Shoujo no Hero Academia, which we both
powerful.
Really like
All Might, who we both really like the idea of and love him in the first season.
Yep.
We just love him in the first season. We'll go that direction. I would say, like they all just like, oh, he's so powerful, and I'm just like, okay, there are so many different kinds of power. And when I went, like the third Boku no Hero Academia OC that I made was actually a hero instead of civilian, because I'm a big fan of civilian hero, like civilian Boku no Hero OCs. I really am. Like, what's your civilian quirk, or do you have a non-quirk, or whatever it is? What's your unremarkable normal character in this fantastic world?
Right.
But anyway, she actually pointed out really damn quickly, the OC, I will say, that everyone suffers from being able to be suffocated. And I'm like, what? Well, she's like, well, my primary weakness is that, the primary way to hurt me is to remove my ability to breathe. And it's like, okay, but that hurts everyone.
Yeah, it does,
and it's just
for the
like,
most part.
well, no, but they're all so powerful. And it's like, no, most people will die of suffocation. It doesn't matter what their quirk is.
It's like, again, so I think we've talked about it before, but it's the kitten down the well sort of
so I was gonna say, one of the things that I like to do when people go, they're so powerful, that would never happen, you go, okay, they're so powerful, let's do a logic puzzle, and go, okay, you have a kitten down a well. Sort of like this thing that happened back in the 90s where a young child fell down what they called a well, but it was really just like a water opening in the ground. And the thing was about 14 inches across or something like that.
Don't recall.
It was very,
I remember
very
hearing
tiny.
about it.
So you have this kitten down this very, very tiny, like pipe-sized well, and they're about 200 feet down. Can you save them?
Right.
And going, what can you do? All Might cannot punch the kitten out of the well. He cannot do it. No matter how powerful he is, he can't save the kitten. Now, could he destroy the well and then pulverize the kitten in the process and make sure no kitten would ever get stuck down there ever again? Sure, but does that save the kitten?
No.
At
And
any
the
rate,
thing is you're breaking down and going, okay, what are All Might's skills? All Might doesn't know how to dig down to a well, as far as we know. Well, he has enough power to dig for a long time, but does he know how to arrange it so that maybe the pipe or the natural well doesn't collapse?
And then
does
rain
he know what
debris
he's
on
doing?
or suffocate the kitten, that kind of thing. Anyway, so it's a thing of putting in a logic puzzle and going, like there are different types of power. There always have been. And a lot of people get very reductive if they're powerful, period, that's it. And it's like, no, that's not how it works.
Yes.
Anyway, I never say about any of my characters, oh, but they're just more powerful than you. It's like, they have a different skill set or different abilities, and they will be approached individually.
Yes, of course. I don't want to forget any of this.
Put that notebook away.
He's also possibly trying to be really respectful of Small,
Right.
going, these are things that are important to you.
You
and
are
I
telling
know
me
that I have a lot of information and I'm compartmentalizing it and putting it in a place where I can clearly get access to it and make sure I have the exact words.
Also going, I have just asked somebody I want to be my partner what it is they need from me. I am going to respect what they say and try to fulfill those things by keeping track of them. So you know what? Sometimes when you look at your boss, your partner, your friend, whatever, and you go, what do you need from me in this situation? And then they tell you, it can be hard to remember everything they've told you that they need. And even if you can't fulfill all of those things at all, it's not your responsibility to do so, you can figure out best where you can contribute if you recognize what their needs are.
Right?
You don't need it. Come on, Dylan. I have an idea. Let's get out of here before that mob comes chasing after us and the announcer decides and realizes that, you know what, Mad Dog doesn't have the privilege to send you out, or that his manager does, and they all decide that they need to get you back in there to do this and hunt us down.
Because you're still beholden to the venue.
Do you have a contract? Did he really just alleviate your contract? Was that a money fight? By the way, do you owe anything? I don't care. It doesn't matter.
Small, where are we?
Oh no, it's the living room music. There's so many venues in this goddamn game. This is amazing.
It's kind of fun though, too. It's like, yes!
Like I said, it is. It's amazing. Look at the fake little train. That's so cute. The Ferris wheel is freaking huge. Huge.
What are all these mechanical monsters?
Oh, let me tell you. I guess. I would know that you've never been to a theme park on Earth before, but I guess.
Because you could have a theme park on Dragonland.
Right, we don't know what their version of a theme park is, so we can only assume, or if they have something sort of equivalent.
Right.
I guess you've never been to a theme park before.
Honestly, you might, though, get some interesting, maybe, festival atmosphere from it. So you'd be like, is this, a weird, eccentric festival?
Like a party of mechanical monsters?
Right.
Is this a zoo? Is this a mechanical monster zoo?
Because it's one of the things, actually, a lot of cultures, if you actually really spend a lot of time going through them, you can actually really see how they have entertainment and what it looks like and where the noise is. And you kind of could go, know, why would they not potentially look at this as going, this could be a festival situation?
I mean, people can often recognize parties in other people's worlds.
I thought parks were for trees.
Why don't you think they're for playground equipment, honestly?
Okay, so this to me starts to also again imply that we have different language.
Yes.
What I'm baffled by is why do they have so much of our language, and then there are also so many things they do not understand? I know.
Okay.
There are sometimes basically basically in words or words that literally do not translate or really ever get translated, because what you've learned the British English way of speaking and mannerisms. And then you come across American English and you go, what the flying ever living fuck is that?
There is actually a specific way in British film where they perform American speech.
Yes.
And that if it's not that, you don't like there's this culture developed around it of going, if you don't use the American in the British American series, British series depicting Americans' accent, it's the wrong one.
So weird.
It does. It sounds really strange. We've heard it a few times in Poirot, and it is wild.
And
a couple of times in Miss Marple as well, didn't we?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That was wild.
You run through it a lot of honestly if you can.
But at the same time, in the same way that things don't always translate well, people can be like, this is a park. Here's a picture of a place with trees and grass. You know,
right.
We've learned it. It's not that kind of park. It's not a parking lot either, but there sure is one.
I'm not sure about this.
Reasonable, since you don't know what's expected of you, just like I didn't know what was expected of me at the other venue.
Great! We're now continuing to perpetuate this cycle of non-communication.
All right, cycle, perpetuation, here we
This is one of
go.
those things where I get really uncomfortable with going yeah, you're wanting to date Dylan. But
Let's just
why?
throw
We
you into
seem
things.
to crap on him a lot. And also, I don't know.
We don't seem to communicate well with any of them. It doesn't also seem to be the priority, but I'm just like, whoa. Don't worry. I'll be right here with you, and maybe I can explain some things, too, as we go through them.
Please tell me.
Could be a learning opportunity. Why don't we start with the Ferris wheel?
How about we start with money?
Okay, so
what happened to the entrance to the...
Right. Why don't we start with buying tickets? Why don't we start with waiting in line?
Maybe it's like the boardwalk, because actually, so on some of them, you don't actually have to pay to
Admission
get in.
and all, but you do have to pay each individual thing,
right.
Or you buy tickets to interact with all of them.
Right.
Kind of thing, and going, why don't we start with the Ferris wheel? He's a water dragon. Does he get in the air much? I would ask him about that first.
Hi.
Going, hey.
Are you afraid of heights?
How often do you fly? Do you have really tall buildings where you come from? Yeah. It's nice and slow, and I'm not thinking about your cultural background at all.
All right.
You don't even know which one it is because I'm not indicating it. I'm just saying Ferris wheel, and you're trusting me. I appreciate your trusting me, but maybe you shouldn't so much.
I suppose I must learn to be open to new experiences if I wish to be with you. However, again, this is just about him being open to new experiences with Small.
Again,
not us with him. I'm so bothered by how quickly and how joyfully they love showing aside
and she's going
other cultural experiences and going, yours isn't as valid as mine.
I don't need to learn anything about yours. You just need to learn mine. And also, the one time you try and assert yourself and go, well, outside of him doing the water healing, we allowed him to do that. But you try and assert yourself and do something, the fight that just didn't happen, we go, no, you cannot do it. You have no agency. Come, learn my culture. It's like, that was a piece of your culture. He could have learned it.
Yeah. Take me.
We know.
I guess we did gesture.
We pointed to it.
Take me to the giant wheel.
He doesn't know what we're going to do with it, though. I don't want this to be embarrassing for him. Finally, Dylan and I are at the top of the Ferris wheel after waiting in line, buying tickets, exchanging, things, him trying to use his dragon currency, which I've never seen before, figuring out that we can't just go on, getting seated in things, learning that we have to get inside and close the door and it's a moving room.
And not run around back and forth because they were like, please do not freaking tip this thing, my God.
Right, and that you have to sit, after we've explained everything and experienced the whole process, Dylan and I are at the top of the Ferris wheel. Just look at that blurry, smeared view. It's so foggy in here from the heavy breathing. You can barely see the buildings.
Dylan freaking out. Either that or what's going on is also he might have a high humidity, like high humidity coming from his body.
Right, because he's water dragon.
He's a water dragon.
He's just producing fog gently in this very tiny room.
Oh my gosh! He's a humidifier.
He gets excited. He's a humidifier. Or nervous and he's a humidifier. He steams when he's nervous. Or he just diffuses water into
Honestly,
the air.
that would be really interesting and have some great dramatic effects where you just kind of sweep out and you're angry and all this fog starts going everywhere and you're like, damn, dude.
Wow,
what are you doing?
You're aesthetic. Damn, Vader would be jealous.
You create your own fog.
Your own. I don't need a special effects team.
I am the special effects team, yes.
You are the Brute Squad. All right. Just look at that view. I just want to draw a smiley face on the foggy window.
I'm afraid he's going to be freaking out.
What do you think, Dylan? Oh, no, he's fine.
Thank God.
I'm so glad. I'm so relieved. I do not trust the authors in this case. I'm just like,
It's so peaceful up here. This is exactly what I needed.
That's good, because I didn't know if you liked being up in the air.
Also, again, what did you need? Did you need something? That was never clarified
This is exactly what you needed to know what I need, which is what you asked.
What?
I guess. This explains how to be there for me. somehow, which is what you said you needed a few minutes ago.
Hi.
It's fine.
Yes. A moment away from it all.
Oh, so you could collect your thoughts and not be in that sort of harried race for my hand. Maybe that?
Perhaps. Thank you, Small.
I appreciate that, because it seems like
I
all
don't
you guys
really
are
know
doing
what
right
I'm
now
thanking you for.
is totally just, we're just hanging out instead of jockeying for my favor. It's
Oh,
fine.
don't worry. You will also lose your job soon, too. It's okay.
It's fine. It feels like it's just us here, doesn't it?
Are we now
Just
gonna
ignore
kiss
the
him
third guy sitting in the
because-
car over there.
Right?
It's just us up here. So the other family sitting on the other side of the car. Excuse me?
I know.
Oh, but it does feel like it's just us.
Right.
Good for you.
Uh-huh.
Just quietly removes their child from your side of the thing and points them out the other window.
Just look outside, honey. Pep, pep.
It's fine. I'm gonna draw in the window and make handprints in the steam. Yay! They're like, why is it so foggy in here? Dear God.
Dylan, the fog machine.
Looks at partner going, it's like that time we were making out in the car at the movie theater. We totally missed the movie. Child. Ooh.
Huh?
Dylan and Small. Oh dear.
Hi.
Woo.
Oh, dear.
All right.
Yes, it does.
Even with the family over there, it's really cute, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
Very
Not that Ferris
impersonal.
wheels aren't fun, too.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. He's gonna...
Are we not supposed to be alone with people?
Remember where he was like, we shouldn't do that?
Well, I mean, seeing his body, but he didn't say we shouldn't be alone together, did he?
Mm.
I thought that was Phoenix? Was I wrong? Phoenix going, don't offer to me yourself to me like that, whatever, or you know, a lady shouldn't, whatever. I don't think he's done that. Anyway.
I don't know. Wait. Is that why you did this?
Oh yeah, I clearly wanted to be alone with you all the way. That's totally no.
Because you wanted me all to yourself.
He's very confused. I love the double question marks. That speaks so much to this. It does. And the face Scandal's making is amazing. It's just, what? Like the wrath of the crowd with the eyebrow raised, confusion. All right. Hey, I'm just trying to help you relax as I dodge your question completely.
Relax. How can I possibly relax being so close to you like this, Small?
Well, you could always sit on the other side or between, you know, the couple on the other side of the
couple.
like, over there. You didn't have to sit right next to me. The entire thing is also empty. You're squished together in one little corner.
Uh-huh.
Or there's, you know, people spread throughout. There's like 3 or 4 other people in there, and you sit right, you know, right across from each other, feet touching. Like, whoo.
Oh, so intimate.
Dylan? Hold Dylan's hand.
I knew it.
Apologize.
I knew it.
There it is.
I knew it.
You know what? I kind of just want to apologize to him for being weirdly indirect. That's really what I want, because we didn't explain things well to him. We interrupted his fight and didn't let him be himself. We've been really invalidating of him. I really don't want to just hold his hand and be like,
I still keep feeling like there's a level of like
to be close to you.
weird babysitting and weird hyper controlling stuff going on, even from, so in the reverse from all the guys, air quotes,
Right.
because they're all characters in this situation, so they're not actually they're not people, obviously,
Right.
So it's like the way this writing is going is like a level of, you know, your character's just completely more kind of self-obsessed, which is fine because it gives you a character to kind of contrast yourself off of and go, what would I do? And then what they're doing, going, why would you do that? You know,
I'm trying to get to know that character, but I don't think I would. Honestly, for where I'm reading this, I would want her to be the kind of person who would apologize.
Unlike, though, unfortunately, so this is where I was talking about that mood setup.
Yeah.
The way that this has been written, unlike it was for Phoenix, it was set up to go for holding Dylan's hand.
Right.
This feels like set up for that. The other one, it had to literally go all the way through the whole process of actually kissing him.
I didn't actually want to do that option of going. We had to figure out how she would get to kissing him instead of just have it happen.
Yep.
So I'm gonna apologize if you're cool with that.
No, that's totally fine.
All right, here we go. All right, Dylan, I'm sorry. I've been vague and indirect and invalidating of you, and I'm trying to develop greater self-awareness, but it's hard. I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable.
I honestly, though, like being able to apologize to him, but I'm also like, I feel like Small needs to apologize way more. We need to spend
for more things.
Yes.
Yes, it doesn't absolve you just because it's been a while.
Uh-huh.
It is still valuable to say I'm sorry, even a lot of time later.
And sometimes I understand, though, too, where you're just like, sometimes this is a thing that I have learned to do, and it is a continual process. However, if the other person does get tired of it, and they shouldn't have to put up with you necessarily at all, they have every right to be like, I'm done.
I'm done. All right.
Because, I know. It's all right. You don't have to. Yeah, yes, you do.
Honestly, I should apologize. I've done a lot.
It's my issue. No.
No,
No.
this
You
is
are
not
culturally
your
unaware.
personal
You
issue.
don't know what's going on.
We are from different places, and it's not just you.
Writer, I'm going to argue, writers, I don't agree with you at all. Again, the thing that I was angriest about with Dylan, while it is also funny in terms of that trope, there's also a lot of that trope that literally also ends up existing in real life. And again, I understand this is a game, and I totally get that. Again, no shame here for enjoying this kind of thing, but recognizing that a lot of people also, though, do go, well, you know, it's just a thing, and people are just dumb and don't know anything about culture, and they should totally know. They should just learn how to speak goddamn English, you know, kind of thing. And it's
And
just
going,
like,
he shouldn't have to apologize as the foreigner. We should both be accountable for meeting in the middle. When you come from different cultures, there's a lot to understand more than just getting to know someone. And a lot of us are even poor at getting to know people who are really familiar and grew up in the same neighborhood as us.
you know what bothers me, though, too, in some level? So I also have a strong background, at least in my family, of going, when you're the host, you are there to accommodate your guest.
And
To
they
some
are
degree.
all
And the guest
guests.
is usually trying to be there to not be invasive or be rude or super demanding. Yeah, right? But the thing is going, so what I'm having a problem with here is like, it sounds like basically they're going, well, you know, the guest basically just needs to do whatever the host is telling them to do, because Small is the host and Dylan is the guest.
And apologize.
And yeah, and I'm like, no, the host is clearly not setting up enough expectations. This isn't working
Small
for me.
does not seem equipped at all. And the fact that her grandfather's like, oh yeah, we just never told you who you were. It's reasonable that she's not equipped at all, but he should not feel the need to apologize.
Clearly, I'm still not used to this. So I'm going to say it jumped from the thing of going, or like, it's all right. Clearly, I'm still not used to this.
Yeah.
Like, he does, not that that's, I guess that might still sound like he's going, no, you don't need to apologize. Or just going like,
Maybe he's
I
just
apologize
saying
and going, it's all right. It's clearly that I'm still not used to it.
that I'm just not familiar with how all of this works.
Uh-huh.
Before long, our ride comes to an end. Dylan and I explore the theme park some more before heading home. Do you talk to him? Do you hang out? Do you explain, like, more about human money? Do you share food? Do you learn anything?
Do you talk about the fact that you really need to be careful with some of the chicken wings because damn day's hot, bro?
Because they're spicy? Do you ask him about what kind of foods he likes or what he normally eats in the dragon world? At all?
Do you ask him about their festivals or their entertainment venues or what they do
Also,
for fun or what he does
he
with
normally
his life?
fight at home? Has he ever fought before? Why did you choose a fight of all things?
What? Yeah, I was about to say, why does it like go back to that? I think the thing is didn't Dylan at one point mention there was something like more militaristic about the water dragons themselves?
I'm not sure. I think we just extrapolated that from his clothing, honestly. I
okay.
really do.
It's
but
possible.
I'm not remembering. And honestly, this game is fairly long, which is kind of nice, but also it lets you lose track of things sometimes.
It's
all
true.
right. So before heading home, and all the interesting stuff of getting to know each other happens off screen, and instantly we're in our room. Short hop. I should really catch up on my writing. Ya think?
What about your job?
It was the whole circle of your entire life before this happened. Also, was that your entire day? Or was that somehow like, I
2
didn't
hours.
work today? Who knows? The whole thing took a couple of hours. These past few days have given me tons of inspiration. Really? That's good. Welcome to Prodigy!
Welcome to Prodigy. Check out our hot news story. To love a dragon prince.
Huh? Did someone just steal my story idea? Wait, is that Rye's story?
probably Rye's.
Is that Rye's story? I click on the story, reading the synopsis. What the? Someone stole my story. They did. They stole our story. We had told the fan what we were gonna write next. Remember?
Oh, okay.
This has never happened to me before. Who could have stolen my idea? Honestly, though, just so you know, people can write your ideas. Now, they shouldn't be like. They're not going to be able to do it. Like if you submit a script to a
What's
company,
so unique?
they cannot write and steal your stuff. This has happened all over Hollywood. This has happened in a lot of professional videos. It is not appropriate. But if you just tell someone in casual conversation what you think of something, your intellectual property is not protected unless you somehow go to lengths in that conversation to explain that it is, or you have a copyright already in place or a trademark. Go ahead. What's up?
Also, again, like you can't copyright an idea of. Like, I'm like, the idea of it. They stole my idea for a dragon slayer falling in love with a dragon prince.
Yep.
Or just a dragon. Yep. That is so not unique. I'm sorry.
They stole my idea of writing fanfic about this popular series. Like, how vague do you want to be?
Like, really? I'm like,
right, really? Like,
you're gonna,
unless
it's like, they stole my idea that was super, like, here's all my character names.
Like I said, if someone submits a full script or like a manuscript to you, and you use that with slight alterations or changes, as in the case of like, you know, one of the Star Trek series, or the fact that a lot of big Hollywood movies come out with parallel similarities at the same time.
Right.
You can see it in the back, like historically, like you'll get, Asteroid and Armageddon at the same time.
Yeah, and if
they're
you
all
don't-
handling giant asteroid towards Earth,
Right.
and then they handle it different ways. Now, the thing is neither of them were necessarily stealing each other's story, but they were stealing.
It's
the
called
premise.
convergent idea creation or something
Yes,
like
something
that.
like
It
that.
actually happens, and it's really wild to see it happen. But if you didn't understand what we were talking about, so there is a case with the Star Trek series and the Battlestar.
I was just gonna leave it.
And,
I was just gonna leave it.
Oh, okay, fine.
It's fine. You can look it up if you want to, and there was some script theft there, but the writer's username is Big Bad Rebel 18, not True Believer, the one who sent me a threatening message. Are
What?
more dragons writing stuff? They could have created another username to avoid being caught. Rye's a fellow writer. He'll understand how I feel. We can talk to Rye.
Yay!
Ha, I pull out my cell phone to text him.
We finally have a cell phone again.
We finally have a cell phone again. Did our parents ever text us back or contact us back? It's been a few days since we called them. It really has.
My parents
I know
are
it takes
dead.
a while. I know they're in another country. Artifacticizing, stealing artifacts, but it's fine. Hey, right? Like, did we call her or are we texting? We're texting, right?
Texting.
Are you asleep yet?
Wait, this is night?
Yes,
All right, cool.
because we went home into our room, which means dinner is done, everything's done, this is the end of the day.
No. What? What are you doing up so late, Small?
Apparently just getting back from, the
I gotta tell
Dock
you, man.
Fair, or the permanent, theme park on the wharf. It's fine. Some writer stole my story idea on Prodigy, or they rewrote my story for themselves.
Which is different.
Which is different. Who knows? I'm so upset right now. Did you actually read their stuff, or did you just go, the description sounds like mine?
Right?
We said it on emoji. That's adorable.
That's very cute.
Huh.
Okay. Really?
Okay.
That was a whole part of my
Done.
conversation.
Huh.
Done. We don't need to talk about anything else.
Hope he replies soon.
I mean, he was right
Wait,
there.
He did reply.
He did reply.
He replied. And then we say, wait, what?
Why are we saying...
We hope he replies to the someone stole my story? Tap, tap, tap. Hi. Is this like, huh? The window? It's the window, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where's that creepy noise coming from? It's coming from my window. We don't have a window to tap on, but you know what? We're doing our best. Against my better judgment, I turn to look. You mean you walk over to the curtains and pull them open and scream as there's eyeballs in your window?
Hello.
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 Hello. Ah!
Roger, calm down, Small. It's just me. Will you let me in?
What will I do? It's pitch black and I can't see anything. And I
That's-
know that the only time the entire city goes dark and there's no lights of any kind, it has to be Rye.
Wait, he's a dragon. I forgot.
Damn. Okay, so this has been really good, and please stay safe in there and out there with the coronavirus, whether you have to work or whether you are shut indoors, saving the world. We are loving to also share our media during this time.
Yes, absolutely. We are actually having a great time doing this. This is very fulfilling for us in a sense because it is an experience being kind of quarantined, basically. I mean, not
Yes.
just solidly doing so, and especially trying to keep as many people alive as possible.
Watching
like
the
Dave.
world have the experience that it is fascinating right now. But if you would like to comment, subscribe, interact with us in any way, we would be happy to talk to you. We have
a Ko-Fi and a Patreon down below if you'd like to go check that out and like what we do. But for sure, I have been Scandal.
and I have been Lies. And
it
it was great playing with you. Bye!